Hello everybody, here's another video for you. Pretty rare sharks. I've done a handful of sharks before, but they're all the commoner species. This one is not common at all. It goes on a bit in the beginning because I've had problems taking the rock off of this slab to make this other side slab, because it's positive negative, and in order to make this one complete slab, I had to take some off of this rock. That was a job. Anyways, this shark is known as Cantioschilium decipiens. It's right up there, genus and species. So, it took forever to get this rock ready to prep. There wasn't a whole lot of prep. About a mile of cracks to repair and other stuff to repair and rock to replace, missing rock. Just watch the video. Hello everybody. Here's a piece of my next project. It's hard to see, but this is the tail end of a shark, and it goes underneath this piece of rock. This piece of rock, I've drawn this line, hopefully in the right spot, and I'm hoping, oh God am I hoping, that this whole entire piece comes off of this piece. This piece comes off of this piece, because this goes to the opposing side. So if I can get it off in one piece, and you'll see later if I do, just exactly what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is to try to split this rock. Sometimes it splits really nicely, other times it doesn't split worth a you-know-what. And I'm going to just follow that line. Hopefully when I get started, hopefully I'll see a line and I can follow that line that it makes, because then you know it's working pretty good. So, here goes absolutely nothing. Okay, I went across this about 6 different times. I was getting so nervous. And get a load of this. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll see if I can change the way this angle of the light. Zoom in. See that crack? That's great news. Now I'm going to see if I can follow that over to here. This is just nervous. It makes me nervous, Nelly. Cross your fingers right in front of your eyeballs. Alright, it's not releasing. Oh, that makes me nervous. Okay, I've hit this area here. I hit this back here again. I hit this here again. And right there. Let me zoom in and see if you can see that. Right there. Whoop. Jesus, Ronald. You can see it just starting to crack. This is making me so freaking nervous. This is a very expensive plate of rock. Yep, more than $2. Alright, I'll be back. I just hit this about 3 more times and get a load of this right there. Zoom in. You can see that crack right there, so you can I can tell that I was just a bit lower than I should have been. Oh, this is making me nervous. Super, super nervous. Don't want to waste $2, you know. Come on! This nerves is driving me nuts, but it's kind of releasing and kind of not, so at this point, even if it comes off in 2 pieces, 3 pieces, I don't care. As long as I get all these pieces off of this rock, that is my goal. You'll see why later. And I also cleaned off the lens. It gets a little on the dirty side. So, I'm going to try this back side, or front side, whatever you want to call it, again. Man. Alright, I might have another idea. This is the thinnest chisel I have, and I will now attempt to pretend this is like Green River Formation rock and go for splitting it. Ah, these freaking lights. Sorry guys, I gotta move the lights. Need some pounding power. Well, lightly tapping. That held on pretty good, which means it's not really working. Uh-oh. Man, this isn't working with the crap. You see this crack here? That wasn't there before. There's a crack here. Oh man, this is can't quit now though. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, definitely a crack right there. So far 2 pieces for sure. Let me see if I can zoom in, show you that crack. It's a definite crack. So it's just not releasing the way I want it to. Okay, this just released. All it took was a couple light taps of this chisel right around here. The thing is, the moment of truth, where's the shark at? I don't see no shark. Now then, I want to be super careful of this edge. Now that I've got this to work on, I'm going to put this in a safe place where I can't get to it even by accident. Okay, so I don't mean to put tool marks on the rock, but the critter's over here, and I can fix tool marks at least a little bit. see how that was so rough. Just doesn't want to release. Look at the cute little fishy. Okay, now to work on this edge. Man, this is a tough release. I don't care what anybody says. It's might be working, I don't know. So I'm working over here, the crack's right there. Son of a you know what. At least they're coming off though, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's in 4 pieces. I don't care. Okay, enough meltdowns. Oh, jeez. Oh. You saw that with your own little tiny eyeballs. Or big eyeballs. Now I got a new edge to work on. Oh god, these are just coming in so many different pieces. Oh, there she goes! Man, I wish that was in one piece, but uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, there's the end of the shark's tail right there. Okay, so now I gotta glue all these pieces back together, and all these top pieces that came off of here go onto the opposing piece of rock. Whew, what a freaking job. Okay, I got 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece. The 4th piece will be tomorrow over here. That's as far as I go for now. I think. I might just do that actually. I mean, why not? I got it right over here. I think I will try that. Whoa, jeez. Come on, Ronaldo. Ta-da! Okay, I got all the pieces back together. That piece, well, now I got another problem. I've started another video like I'm always doing, and yet I've got to move this so I can work on my last video I was working on. I can't move that. Jesus, now what do I do? Jesus, I'll be back! Okay, it's brutal outside, which is why I didn't take any camera work out there. It's just windy and cold, and it's brutal. I flattened this with the grinder. I grinded off 3 nice fish. I couldn't believe it, but the way it goes. You can see there's shrimp everywhere, but it's not the side I'm after, so they had to go. You know, these are $15 shrimp, $20 fish that I destroyed. But on the back of this is a $3,000 or $4,000 shark. You do the math. Okay, last night I cut this line here to straighten that out. I'm going to put a piece here to build that corner. I'm going to use this for that spot right there. Of course, it's be in like that. So I cut that last night. I just chiseled this just to make it a little easier to work with. And I cut that last night, and then I cut this and chiseled that. So I got 3 spots to repair today. And that'll really help that rock along, because this rock just wasn't there. It's not on the other half either. It's just gone. So to work I go. Here's my pieces of rock. I got my glues ready, which is nothing but thick Starbond. It's cyanoacrylate glue, super glue. Wow, this is a much bigger job than I thought. This piece, which is going to go in here, broke in half. It broke. This piece, which goes here, it broke into 3 different pieces. And now I've got this line here to cut and this line here to cut, so I can build up this corner. Then I got to clean up all the edges and glue it and clamp it and all kinds of good stuff. But that'll be a good day's work. I don't care what anybody says. Alright, everything washed, everything kind of in place. Now to start rebuilding everything, which is sometimes has to be done. Okay. Now I gotta put that in there, make sure it fits. Gotta put that in there, make sure it fits, and glue everything together. It actually looks pretty good. But man, ooh, jeez. That color is quite off though. Oh well, that's the way it goes. That one's going to have to be clamped because it's just kind of sitting there in mid-air. This one has got that, so that's kind of nice. And this corner piece, I'm going to rebuild this corner after I glue it on, so that'll be a tomorrow job. Alright. Okay, that's all going to cure till tomorrow, and then I'm going to put this and this other one on these backer boards here that I cut the other day. And I don't know, it looks god awful right now, but as soon as that's all patched up and trimmed up and sauced up and fixed up, maybe a little bit of acrylic work, bam, it's gonna look sharp. Okay, it's been at least a week. Been lazy, getting ready for Christmas, all that stuff. Anyways, as you can see, this thing has a hell of a wobble to it. It's very thick over here, very thin over here. So I'm going to take this outside. I'm not going to show you that because it's too much work for me to get it all set up and broke down. Anyways, I'll show you this when I return. Okay, took a lot of rock off, and I thought just a little bit more and kadoink. So I got to re-glue that back on. So it happens. I'm going to wash this first, turn her over, then glue it, and that's about ready to get put on the backer board, which should have been done last week, but I get lazy. Back to work. And now for the second time, it's glued back together, more glue, but I learned a long time ago to not wipe the glue that oozes out, because it's easier to clean as it's got gooped up coming out than it is when it's smeared with a paper towel or something. So anyways, ta-da! I simply draw some lines where I want to cut, and I use my angle iron with a 4-inch diamond blade to cut it. And there you go. Both sides now glued to a backer board. Still got work to do, but hey, it's getting there. Step at a time. After it's glued onto the backer board, I then prop them up like this, tape where I need to, and then pour in some mixed up concrete patch in between the rock slab and the piece of backer board. Then I use my angle grinder with 4-inch diamond blade to square them up. I then use another angle iron with a diamond grinding head to make the edges nice and smooth, or as smooth as possible anyways. Okay, as you just saw, I cut these, I ground these. You can see how needs a bit of repair. Some sides are better than others. This is a bad one. You can see all this stuff that needs to be filled in. I'm gonna fill in all the stuff today on all the sides, all edges. Let it cure, let it dry. Oh, that's a real bad one. And then I'll sand it with a little palm sander, and then I'll be ready to actually do some actual prep. It takes some of these slabs got a positive, negative. It takes a whole lot more work just to get it ready to go than to do the actual prep. But it's what I do. Alrighty then. Time for phase 2. This has all been glued together, put on a backer board, all dolled up and whatnot. So now it's ready for the actual rock and the fish. I got this, what you call it, this mixture of concrete patch. Got to be taken off, cleaned up. This one's got quite a bit. I noticed this spot here, and if you look over to the mirror image, it's sitting here, so I'm going to try to take this piece off, put it back onto there. I've noticed these chisel marks here from the quarry. These are god-awful. So I think I'm going to get rid of this hump, try to get rid of these chisel marks so that when this gets puttied in, this area here won't look near as bad. And then it's time for a little bit of air scrubbing, not much. Then it's time for some acrylic work, and I'll show that in detail on this one. So time for me to get to work. I've got thing for water, brush. I got this thing for taking out tissue paper, like so. Not a whole lot, most of it's already out, but it's here and there. So I'm just going to clean this up really good and then start working on the fish. How far I'll get, I don't know, but I'll show this if it comes out good. I don't know what to do about that spot. Okay, I'll be back. Actually, let's zoom this in so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm pretty bad at that, but this area right there, it's this little empty spot, which is right there. So I'm gonna take this off as carefully as I can, hopefully in one piece, and put it right in there. That would make that whole spot look much better. Fingers crossed on that one. So, get to work, Ronald. I didn't go quite far enough. At least I can put this piece onto the other side of this fish. It's small, but hey, it helps. Every little tiny bit helps as far as I'm concerned. Holy crap, what a mess. Holy crap, even after all that cleanup, it still looks like a mess. Whew, that was a close one. It's starting to look a little better now. Okay, it looks like it'll come off in one piece, I hope. Wish everything was that easy. It's a little crumbly, but you know, what do you do about that? I'll leave it alone for now. Bring this side in. And there's the spot right there. So I think what I'm going to do is put a little bit of thick stuff in. Boy, it fit like a freaking glove. Then, this will get a little messy, but this is the very thin of it. This is watery consistency. What I'm going to do is saturate that. Hold it down with a like so, and then some more accelerator. And that's it. That's not going anywhere. And that's it for today. Tomorrow I'm going to start doing all these cracks and stuff. Or, yeah, I'll do all the cracks first. I don't know. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Alright, I'm out of here. Okay, today is crack filling day. I've got two balls, roughly the same size, just A and B, 2-part epoxy putty, and I got the white stuff. This is what's going to make it all blend together. Actually, once I mix that up, I'll mix it to that once I get this mixed up. Got my apple of Decatur's, got my sanders, got my lead dust over here, which you can't see, and I'm going to get to work. Got the putty. I got just a little bit of the white left. I didn't think I needed it, so I'm going to try this, see what happens. It actually looks pretty darn good. Holy crud. This is worse than the last batch. Look how green this is. Leaves all these little green dots, so now I gotta clean all that crap up. Jeez. Some products just aren't made for rocks, I guess. Basically, all I'm doing is sanding the putty to fit the rock. At least trying to. Wipe all this stuff off of here the best I can. Now I'm going to have to toothbrush this because we don't want any of that green staying on here. Not at all. Okay, it looks terrible now, but it will not look just near as bad when I'm done. Then, the old lead dust trick. It makes it look even worse. But believe you me, it will look better once it's cured and washed and scrubbed and whatnot. I'm going to push that dust right into that rock. Alright. Okay. The second slab for this fish, I made it a little bit lighter. Even though this came off the other fish, this rock, I guarantee you, is lighter than the other rock. So I made this just a little bit lighter. Hopefully that's going to help. And I'm just going to fill the cracks up to the fish. And then I think I got enough time to do the inside of the fish, which is going to be a darker putty. Probably 2 or 3 different putties. 3 different colors, I should say. Whew, boy, that scrubbing with that stuff makes it ugly. The missus came out here and she says she'll get me some new stuff. This was an off-brand stuff, and it, man, it's just horrible. Just horrible. I went ahead and did some scrubbing on these marks to try to hide them. These marks are where I was taking the rock off to put on the other side. Good morning. Alright, I'm going to clean this up best I can and start my acrylic work. This one's going to take a fair bit of acrylic work. This one over here, not much at all. So, to work I go. Let's scrub the bejeepers out of this. Okay, I've got 4 different colors out here. Whether I need any more or not, I don't know yet. I've got some more over there. The main color is going to be this one, and I think this one, maybe just a hair of that one. I'll just start mixing and playing until I get what I like, and then mix it with a lot of water so it's like a tea, and then just hit these areas that are just kind of missing stuff, just barely. I don't want to just paint it, I want to just hide it. So I got 3 different brushes. I think I'm going to use this one, and all I do is put some water on here, just a drop at a time really, and then I'll bring some. As you can see, that's too brown. That's way too red. Alright, I'm starting to like that, but this is going to be scary. Some more water there. Very, very scary. It doesn't look too bad. So I'll do a little practice spot. There's glue on that, so it doesn't really But that's better than it was. Of course, that's going to dry. It's going to lighten up as it dries. Just like so. All I gotta do now is put some numbers in these spots and it'll be paint like by number. Get it? Okay, sorry. Bad joke. Let that dry and see how it looks. You can always undo this. It's a good thing about acrylics. Okay, a little bit of Gliptol, which is nothing but a lacquer-based glue. Mixed with lots of acetone. I'm going to guess 8-to-1. And here's my shot glass I put it in. 2 brushes I picked out to apply it. Gonna just do the shark and make it pop. So, all I do is put this, well, I'll show you when I'm done. Okay. How's that? I'm quite happy with this rare shark. I've got the name of it. You'll see it. Well, it's funny how when you edit, anyways, came out really nice. I did my tea coloring acrylics to make it pop, and then I made it. Then I covered it all with Gliptol, which made it really pop, and that looks really nice. I went ahead and cut all my French cleats. This is the way they're going to hang on a wall, and of course, the wife comes in as I'm about ready to cut the first cleat, and she sees this, and most people would call this an angle grinder with the cutoff blade. I call this the, what do I call this? The cutoff, the leg cutoff machine. Yes, the leg cutoff. For those of you who've seen that video, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And my leg is much better now. Much better. Anyways, I'm going to attach these cleats and let's take one of these inside today, this afternoon. Alright. Hope you enjoyed that.